What's up, everyone? We're going to be going to the best NBA player props on PrizePicks today. Now, don't forget to like this video, as it does let me know to continue to give you free picks every day. So make sure to like this video, clicking that button down below. And if we get 350 likes, I will do another video for tomorrow. Now, I did want to show you the results from yesterday's picks from my exclusive Discord group. And as you guys see, we actually got 22 picks correct, which was absolutely insane. Now, a lot of you comment wanting to see how many I got wrong, and I thought I'd show you in today's video. We only got one pick wrong and got 22 right, which is a 98% win rate. Yes, guys, a 98% win rate for the second day in a row. So we're on a huge hot streak, but if you want to get a 98% win rate and get 22 picks right like me, win more bets, or receive the best picks from some of the best bettors in the world for less than a cup of coffee, you can access the exclusive Discord and meet some of the best sport bettors in the game by joining my Patreon. Should be a link down below in the description. Once you join, you'll have complete access to the Discord and can start winning more bets today. So make sure you join my Patreon using the link in the description. And here's one of our members who just signed up and won himself $1,350 just yesterday. Another member who won $817 for the 5th day in a row since joining my Discord. So guys, if you want to win big money like our members, the link will be in the description. So go join the Patreon to have access to the Discord group. And I will be continuing to upload every single day on this channel the best bets and props. So make sure to subscribe so you don't miss my daily uploads. So quick shout to Fabian Grovio 704 who said, first, let's do some bread today. And also shouts out to Jerry and Pearson 2143 who said that makes more value. So shouts out to them, and if you do want to win a shout out in the next video, all you have to do is comment down below in this video and like it, and you can be in the running to win a shout out in the next one. Alright, so let's get straight into the first pick. And when it comes to these picks, I'm not saying to chuck all of them into a parlay and hope for the best. Pick and choose the ones that you like and the ones that work best for you. So the first pick we're going to talk about is none other than RJ Barrett. This one is for 5.5 rebounds, and this one actually is for less. Now, looking at RJ Barrett, we actually have seen him go on the under in 3 out of the last 5 games. Now, this one is an interesting one. We saw on October 30th, faced off against Houston, had 2 rebounds there. Then 3 rebounds against Cleveland on November 1st. After that, November 3rd, faced off against Memphis and had 6 rebounds there. 8 rebounds against Milwaukee on November 5. And then also November 8th, faced off against Atlanta and had 5 rebounds there. So it's definitely been interesting to see. Looking at someone like RJ Barrett, he definitely has done a great job, so far this season. But he has gone on the under in his rebounding lines quite consistently. Now, coming into this next one, we do very much like this next matchup, as we do see that Toronto Raptors face off against the Philadelphia 76ers. Now, it is definitely going to be an exciting game for sure. But looking at both of these teams, starting off with Toronto Raptors, we actually have seen that the Raptors come in at actually the 8th spot in the Eastern Conference. They have a record of 4 wins and 4 losses. That's a 50% win percentage. And on top of that, they are 2-2 from home and also 2-2 from away. So they are currently on a 3-game win streak. So Raptors have actually done surprisingly very well. Now, they do face off against a Philly team, or Philadelphia 76ers, that do rank 6th in the Eastern Conference and also have a record of 5 wins and 3 losses. So I have a 62.5% win percentage, 2-1 from home, 3-2 from away, and are currently on a 2-game losing streak. So 76ers have been on a little bit of a losing streak, but they are hoping to turn that around against the Raptors. But looking at this matchup more in depth, looking at actually 76ers and where they do rank, they do actually rank 14th when it comes to rebounds allowed. So we definitely see that being enough, as when we look at actually Philadelphia, we do also see that they do a fantastic job at restricting rebounds to RJ Barrett's position. So we definitely see on a per position basis, we see someone like RJ going on the under here. Now, we do also know that RJ is definitely seen a lower sort of usage rate in these departments when it comes to rebounds, and for that reason, we are definitely liking the under for it. His average over the last 5 is 4.8, and he has gone up against easier teams and has still gone on the under in his rebounds, and that is just due to the fact that when you actually look at RJ Barrett, not only is he in a position where obviously he isn't really getting that many opportunities to get the board, but the way Toronto like to play their sort of, style of basketball, they don't really have RJ Barrett doing that high of rebounding at all. So for that reason, we definitely do like the under for someone like RJ Barrett coming into this game. We definitely see him going on the under in this one. So for that reason, RJ Barrett 5.5 rebounds for less, I think is a fantastic pick. Now, getting into the next one, we're actually going to be talking about another great player, and that is none other than Pelle Larson. Now, you may have heard of him, you may have not. Pelle has been playing absolutely fantastic for the Miami Heat. However, this pick is actually 4 assists allowed. And this one actually is for points and for less. So looking at this one, we do see that when it comes to Pelle Larson, we have seen him go on the under in 3 out of the last 5 games. Looking at those 5 games, you see on October 31st, faced off against San Antonio Spurs, had 5 points there. Then November 3rd, faced off against LA Lakers, had 17 points. Then had 7 points against LA Clippers on November 4th. And then 6 points against Denver on November 6th. Then we move on to November 8th, faced off against Charlotte, had 19 points there. So it's definitely been pretty interesting for Pelle. We have seen him go on the under quite consistently compared to the over. And on top of that, his average over the last 5 is 10.8, which is slightly above this line, but that is definitely due to the fact that, Pelle has had some big games that are, I would consider, outlier type scoring games. Now, coming into this next one, Miami do have themselves a very good matchup against Portland Trail Blazers. It is going to be an exciting matchup, but looking at where both these teams do lie, starting off with Miami Heat. Heat come in at the 9th spot in the Eastern Conference. They have a record of 4 wins and 4 losses. That's a 50% win percentage. They're also 2-0 from home, 2-4 from away, and are currently on a 1-game losing streak. So they are hoping to change that around. But they face off against Portland Trail Blazers, where Trail Blazers do find themselves in a position where Portland currently ranks 6th in the Western Conference. Now they have a record of 5 wins and 3 losses. That's a 62.5% win percentage. They are 3-2 at home, 2-1 from away, and are currently on a 1-game win streak. So very, very interesting to see there. Now coming into this one, we do also know when it comes to Pelle Larson, we do know that Miami face off against Portland, but we also do see that Portland defensively, when it comes to points allowed, we see that the Portland Trail Blazers rank 17th. So they don't really rank too well. However, the reason why we still do like the under for this situation here is that when we actually look at Larson and also his, matchup, which is Portland actually do a fantastic job at restricting points to the guard position. And we definitely see that having a huge effect on Larson here. Now, Larson is a great player, do not get me wrong, but he doesn't have the highest usage rate when it comes to points, and we are expecting other players in this Miami team to do a lot more of the scoring. Now, I do believe that this line is very high due to the fact that against Lakers and against Charlotte, he did have 2 big outlier games. It's brought this line now a little bit too high that now there's a lot more value actually to go on the under. So that's why coming into this next one, we do very, very much like the under for this one, and we definitely see someone like Pelle Larson going on the under here. When we also look at it and look at what the bookies are saying, bookies also have him favored for the under as well, so that works out in our favor there. So for that reason, definitely keep an eye out for Pelle Larson. 10.5 points for less, I think, is a fantastic pick. Now, getting into the next one, we're going to be talking about Davion Mitchell. So Davion Mitchell, great player. And looking at Davion Mitchell, we do also see that this one is another great one for actually 7.5 assists. And this one actually is for less. Now, looking at this one, we do actually see when it comes to, Davion Mitchell, we have seen him go on the under in 2 out of the last 5 games. Now, this one's an interesting one because we do also see that October 31st, faced off against San Antonio Spurs. You had 4 assists there. November 3rd, faced off against the Lakers, had 8 assists. The 9 assists against LA Clippers on November 4th. November 6th against Denver had 9 assists, and then 5 assists against Charlotte on November 8th. So it's definitely been very interesting to see. Now, when we actually look at this, we do know when it comes to Davion Mitchell, Miami face off against Portland, which we just mentioned just earlier. Now, obviously, both are from the same team, and yes, there are a couple of games, but I do want to show you the best picks possible. Now, we did already talk about Miami and Portland, but, there is a lot of value in this game. Just to remind you again real quickly, Miami Heat do rank 9th with a record of 4 wins and 4 losses, 50% win percentage, 2-0 from home, 2-4 from away, and they face off against a Portland Trail Blazers team who have we mentioned before, ranked 6th in the Western Conference, 5 from 3 when it comes to their record, and also a 62.5% win percentage. That's 3-2 at home, 2-1 from away, and are currently on a 1-game win streak. Now, coming into this next one, it's definitely going to be an exciting one, but we also do know when it comes to Davion Mitchell, we do actually see when it comes to Portland and assists allowed, we see that the Portland Trailblazers do rank 6th. So as you see, they absolutely do a fantastic job at restricting assists to the actual, teams. But on top of that, they also do a really good job at restricting assists to the guard position as well. So that's why coming into this one, we do very, very much like the under for this one. And we definitely are expecting Davion Mitchell to go on the under here. Now, his average over the last 5 is also 7, so significantly below this line. And as we have always mentioned in the past, we do like to look at what the bookies are saying. Bookies also have him favored for the under as well, so that works out in our favor there. So for that reason, I definitely would keep an eye out for Davion Mitchell. When it comes to this game, we are also expecting not really that fast-paced of a matchup. So for that reason, we are definitely still liking the under. And for someone like Davion, although he is a great player, his usage rate in this area can definitely be on the lower side and higher side, really depending on the matchups. And with this matchup coming up, we do like the under for it. So Davion Mitchell, 7.5 assists for less, I think is a fantastic pick. So as you all know, I do want to get these picks out to you as soon as possible, but PrizePicks is delayed with some of their lines. So here are a couple of players you should definitely watch out for when their lines drop. So the first player we're going to be talking about is none other than Norman Powell. Now, as you all know, Norman Powell, great player from none other than Miami Heat. And he's actually done a fantastic job for Miami because so far this season, he's actually averaged 23.2 points, 5.2 rebounds, 2.2 assists, and also has a 46.4% field goal percentage. So he's been absolutely fantastic. On top of that, when we actually look at this Miami Heat team, Norman Powell has actually led the way with other players like Bam, due to the fact that, Miami Heat have gone through a restructure after trading Jimmy Butler, and they've had some injuries such as with Tyler Herro. So Norman Powell has been somewhat leading this team as of right now, and they've been doing very well. Now, coming into this next matchup, we do actually see that Miami Heat face off against none other than the Portland Trailblazers. Now, looking at both these teams so far this season, it's definitely been pretty interesting, but starting off with the Heat, we do see that Miami Heat currently rank 9th in the actual Eastern Conference. Now, this is an interesting one because they do have the same record as the team at 8th and the team in 7th. So it really does come down to points for and against, but they have a record of 4 wins and 4 losses. That's a 50% win percentage. They're 2-0 from home, 2-4 from away, and are currently on a 1-game losing streak. So very, very interesting to see there. Now, when we look at Miami Heat and also this matchup, we do know they face off against Portland, where Portland Trailblazers on the other side rank surprisingly 6th in the Western Conference. So not many people expected that, but they do have a record of 5 wins and 3 losses. That's a 62.5% win percentage. And on top of that, they are 3-2 from home, 2-1 from away, and are currently on a 1-game win streak. So very, very interesting to see there. Now, coming into this matchup, we do actually see that when we look at Portland Trailblazers, we do see that Trailblazers rank 17th when it comes to points allowed. When it comes to assists allowed, they rank 6th, and then rebounds allowed, they rank 13th. So interestingly enough, they do rank pretty high in rebounds and assists, and points a little bit worse. Now, coming into this matchup, however, we do like the over for someone like Norman Powell, but strictly just for points. Now, a big reason being for this is due to the fact that when you actually look at Norman Powell, he actually is a big scorer for this Miami Heat team, so he does have a high usage rate. And the fact that Portland Trailblazers also do a really poor job at restricting points, we are expecting Norman Powell to be able to take advantage of this. Now, looking at this matchup as well, we also do know that Portland Trailblazers do also struggle at restricting points to the guard position, so that definitely works out in our favor there. Now, when we also look at his last 5 games, we saw on the 23rd faced off against Orlando, had a 125-121 loss with 28 points, 4 assists, 9 rebounds there. On the 25th, faced off against Memphis, had a 146-114 win with 15 points, 2 assists, and 6 rebounds. Then on the 27th, faced off against New York Knicks, had a 115-107 win with 29 points, 3 assists, and 7 rebounds. Then on the 4th, faced off against LA Clippers, had a 120-119 win with 21 points, 2 assists, and 2 rebounds. And then on the 6th, faced off against Denver, actually had a 122-112 loss with 23 points, 0 assists, and also 2 rebounds. So very, very interesting to see there. Now, when we actually look at these last, 5 games, we do see that Norman Powell has definitely had a very, very high usage rate. It's honestly been fantastic to see, but on top of anything else, what we also do see when it comes to this is that Norman Powell's usage rate has remained very, very high. So coming into this one, we are definitely expecting the over for someone like Norman Powell, especially with a matchup against Portland, and we are expecting a pretty fast-paced game between both of these teams as well. So overall, we do like the over for it, so keep an eye out for Norman Powell there. Now getting into the next player, we're going to be talking about Trey Murphy III. So Trey Murphy III from New Orleans Pelicans has done a great job, averaging 14.9 points, also 6.4 rebounds, 3.6 assists, and also had a 38.3% field goal percentage. So it's definitely been fantastic to see there. Now coming into this matchup, we do also know that the New Orleans Pelicans face off against none other than actually the San Antonio Spurs. So it is definitely going to be an intense game for sure. But looking at these two teams, obviously starting off with the New Orleans Pelicans, we have seen Pelicans unfortunately struggle just a little bit so far this season because they currently rank 14th in the actual Western Conference. So they have a record of actually 2 wins and 6 losses. That's a 25% win percentage. They're also 1-2 from home, 1-4 from away, and are currently on a 2-game win streak. So very interesting to see there. Now, obviously coming into this matchup, we do also know that they face off against, none other than actually the Spurs. And looking at Spurs, however, Spurs currently rank 5th in the Western Conference and have a record of 5 wins and 2 losses. So they've actually done a very, very good job. Now, coming into this matchup, it is going to be an interesting one because we do also know that Spurs 5-2, so 5 wins, 2 losses, 71.4% win percentage. They are 3-0 from home and 2-2 from away. So definitely going to be an intense battle for sure. But looking at actually the New Orleans Pelicans and also this matchup, which is against the Spurs, we do also see that, looking at Spurs defensively, they rank 2nd when it comes to points allowed. When it comes to assists allowed, they actually do rank 11th, so very still good there. And then also rank 1st when it comes to rebounds allowed. So overall, we definitely have seen Trey Murphy III, actually do well in some games, but coming into this next one against the Spurs, we do very, very much like the under for this one. So for that reason, I definitely would keep an eye out for the under for this situation here, due to the fact that when you look at Trey Murphy III, although he is a great player, especially against Spurs defense, Spurs actually do a fantastic job at restricting points, rebounds, and assists to the forward position. So for that reason, we do very, very much like the under for this one. And because of that reason, we are definitely sticking to the under. Now, looking at actually the last 5 games, we do see on the 30th of October, faced off against Denver, had a 122-88 loss. It had 7 points, 7 rebounds, 0 assists there. Then on the 1st of November, faced off against LA Clippers, had a 126-124 loss with 17 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists. Then on the 3rd, faced off against OKC, had a 137-106 loss with 19 points, 2 assists, 5 rebounds there. And 21 points, 3 assists, 3 rebounds against Charlotte with a 116-112 win. And then also 11 points, 5 assists, 9 rebounds against Dallas Mavericks with a 101-99 win. So very interesting to see there. Obviously, looking at Trey Murphy, we have seen him, do well in some games, other games not really do too well in. And with this matchup against Spurs, Trey Murphy unfortunately really does do pretty poorly against tough defensive teams, especially if they do have very good defensive bigs. We did see him struggle against Denver, also saw him struggle a little bit against other teams. So for that reason, we do very much like the under with this matchup against Spurs, as Spurs rank very high, and they also do a fantastic job at restricting, as we mentioned, points, rebounds, and assists to the forward position. So for that reason, definitely keep an eye out for the under for this one. So Trey Murphy III, keep it out for the under. And if the line is too close to his averages, then definitely look to go on the under there. Now getting into the next player, we're going to be talking about Ayo Dosunmu. Now, as you all know, Ayo, great player from none other than Chicago Bulls. And he's done a fantastic job so far this season, averaging 16.2 points, 3 rebounds, 3.2 assists, and has also had a 57.7% field goal percentage. So he's definitely done a fantastic job there. And when we look at Chicago Bulls, they do face off against none other than actually, in this next matchup, against the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now, looking at both of these teams, starting off with the Bulls have surprised a lot of people because they currently rank first in the Eastern Conference. Now, they have a record of actually 6 wins and 1 loss. That's an 85.7% win percentage. Also 5-0 from home, 1-1 from away, and are currently on a 1-game win streak. So very interesting to see there. Now, they face off against Cleveland, as we mentioned, where Cleveland also have done a great job, currently ranked 3rd in the Eastern Conference. They have a record of 6 wins and 3 losses, a 66.7% win percentage. And on top of that, they are 3-1 from home, 3-2 from away, and are currently on a 3-game win streak. So very interesting to see there. Now, coming into this matchup, we do also know when it comes to, Chicago Bulls and also the matchup against Cleveland. Looking at Cleveland defensively, we do know that Cleveland ranked 9th when it comes to points allowed. When it comes to assists allowed, they rank 13th, and then rebounds allowed. We also do see that Cleveland ranked 19th as well. So we actually have seen them rank pretty well in some categories, a little bit worse than others. But coming into this next one, especially looking at how they rank a little bit better in points and assists, we do actually like the under for this situation for Ayo, but strictly just for the points and assist department. And that reason being due to the fact that, as we mentioned before, they do, Cleveland do rank a little bit better at restricting points and assists. And not only that, but they also do a fantastic job at restricting that to the guard position as well. So coming into this one, we are definitely expecting the under for this one. Now, looking at this matchup more in depth, we also do see when it comes to this matchup that actually, Ayo also does play the guard position, but them and Cleveland are both pretty, somewhat slower paced teams. Now, Cleveland are a lot slower. Chicago do like to play somewhat of a medium pace type game, but coming into this matchup, the reason why Cleveland do rank very well at restricting points and assists is due to the fact that they do like to slow down the pace as much as they can. So coming into this one, we are definitely expecting that for it. Now, looking at his last 5 games, you saw on the 23rd, faced off against Detroit, actually had 14 points, 2 assists, 5 rebounds. Then on the 26th, faced off against Orlando, had a 110-98 win with 15 points, 2 assists, 1 rebound. Then on the 28th, faced off against Atlanta, had a 128-123 win with 21 points, 2 assists, 3 rebounds there. On the 30th, faced off against Sacramento, had a 126-113 win with 9 points, 1 assist, and 2 rebounds. Then against New York Knicks, had a 135-125 win against New York Knicks on the 1st of November and had 22 points, 4 rebounds, and 9 assists there. So, coming into this next matchup, yes, we have seen Ayo do a great job at times, but coming into this next one, we are definitely expecting the under for it, especially against a slow pace and tough defensive Cleveland Cavaliers team.